All right. Let's start out by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachah Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is just Hit the Button, dated April 29th, 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction and judgment of Esau. And that's very appropriate. I'm joined with the Elder Kanak.
Shalom.
And really, technically, don't really have anything lined up. So as the spirit moves, we're going to move. Whatever the spirit feeds us, we'll feed you. You had anything?
Yeah, I have this little article brother sent on the thread. It says blackout chaos.
Beautiful.
Huge power outage hits Spain, Portugal, and France. Transport networks shut and internet is cut off.
Yeah, and I was watching these two couples, the older Edomite looking couple, and one, the man who wears a hat, looks like they're like in a log cabin. Hey, they were talking about the outages and stuff, but to me it seemed like they were talking more about get candles and ferment your vegetables and your foods more than anything else. So I ended up changing it. But these outages are real because most of the world today, they're pretty much used to electricity. And once the grid goes out, they really don't know what to do. Like years ago, we used to keep candles, and matches, stuff like that in case of an emergency. You had no lights. You always had candles. Today, they don't know nothing about that, So you can keep candles, flashlights, and stuff like that. But what I wanted to say was, years ago, I think it was the late 70s, John Todd, he pretty much did a reveal video, or not video, reveal confession, audio tape, the water. It's called the John Todd Confessions, and pretty much in that he was talking about how the international bankers wanted to implode the economies of the world, including their own businesses, and still be financially stable enough to withstand it. And one of the things he said in there, I believe it was him, I'm not sure who made the quote or said it, but they said when the lights go out for the last time in New York, we will have the world. Now, I don't know if that's the reason why. I believe that was John Carpenter that did the movie Escape from New York, because that was pretty much, it was like a chaotic situation. It was like a police state / martial law. Well, really not even so much as martial law. It was just like a police state where the whole island of Manhattan was cut off and nothing but criminals and, lowlifes were there. They also did one called Escape from LA, But this is what we saw once. They want total chaos. Because in total chaos, people will lose their minds to the point where they will be stepping over boundaries. They won't respect their neighbor because of the desperation, for lack of bread. Like it says in 2nd Ezra 15, I don't know where the elder's going.
I can get that.
All right, no, you have something else?
Yeah, 2nd Ezra 6.
Go ahead, bring it out.
Just real quick. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown.
Right, and we're seeing that happening right now. These farmers are catching hell. And farmers are sellouts because they took the bag and fed the people GMO and destroyed these crops. But it's a systematic thing. And this is why I see all these erratic changes going on in Congress, with this guy, Big Mouth himself, Mr. Orange Man, Donald Trump, Nero Trump, because they're really, they really want to cause chaos. And see, the supply chain of America was run so tight that they didn't have to really keep too many supplies, in these different stores, because whatever they needed, they can get it within hours, But now everything is starting to go down. And, you have to remember that these people out here are used to getting that stuff right away. You know, they're not. You see what happens when somebody has to wait an extra 10 seconds, 5-10 seconds in line to get a chicken sandwich. You want to say something?
Yeah, people, they go mad. They go, they're irritated. They're in a high anxious state. You know, because they're so used to getting things on demand. You know, it's like a microwave society, whereas, you know, you get everything you want, you know, within minutes. And if it's longer, it gives you any convenience, you raise hell. And many people have died because of that too as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, because they haven't got their food fast enough. You know, somebody was at a light 5 seconds too long. You know, somebody, you know, was standing in the middle of the street, you know, whatever it may be. So when your life is changed, you know, the inconvenience of the electricity going off is going to be all out chaos and hell.
Oh yeah. You know, and that's pretty much what they want. They want the chaos because they have a motto, Latin motto, ordo ab chaos, order through chaos. And that's pretty much what they want. So go ahead.
It says the full, let me read it from the top again. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Right, and that's your warehouses, you know, because you have shipping containers that come in to this country, but those containers and those goods are shipped to different warehouses. And in those warehouses, they sort everything out, label it, and send it off to the different stores around America. Whether it's, clothing, food, flowers, seeds, whatever the case may be, wood, whatever.
Meat.
You
know, like meat packaging plants, where a lot of meat gets shipped into America and processed, frozen or whatever it may be, and then shipped out to the different states. You know, that's all part of the supply chain as well. How you get food from farm, what they say, farm to table. There's a big intricate system that's been designed and developed, that's been perfected over the years in order for you to get your goods here in Babylon the Great. And that system is really delicate. And at any given moment, all right, one domino falls, everything falls. Just like this whole power outage. It was Spain and Portugal, now it's France. So what's going on?
Right. Is it a plan? Is it something that's planned? Are we just being conspiracy theorists or what? But you got any more?
Yeah, it says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear, they shall be suddenly afraid.
Right. Why are they going to be afraid? Matter of fact, hold that. Get Amos 3 and 6, and then we'll come right back to that. You know, why are they going to be suddenly afraid? Because it's going to be a sound that they're not used to. You know, and that sound is going to be like, okay, well, you know, there's no more, you know, so like they. So now with the toilet paper, the eggs and shit like that, cause some type of panic where people are going to lose it. And they know how easy it is for people to lose it. You know, the society is done when you have something called, what is that, a Black Friday? You know, and people go nuts. They'll sit outside the store 2 days camping out just to be the one first to get there. There might be one thing left and people fighting over it. You know, ready to go to blows and shoot each other, kill each other for that thing. So, you know, a society like that is ready for the taking. Cooked.
Yep, it's Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord has not done it?
Right. So shall there be a trumpet blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? And that's what, you know, it's going to start happening more and more. You know, shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? And what you have to understand, as we've been saying many, many years, is that, you know, people out here really have no understanding or concept of who Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is. Because they think that the Heavenly Father has been painted in the Christian worldview that he's all love. Yeah, he does love, but he also hates. He also creates evil. He also causes devastation, kills people, you know? So we could go back to 2nd Ezra 6.
2nd Ezra 6 and 24. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies.
Yeah, why? because there's going to be a time of desperation. You know what the scriptures say? A friend may be known in adversity, right? These people are not used to that type of adversity. They might be used to, okay, I don't have enough money to pay for this particular bill, so I got to put a little something on it this month, and next month I put more or whatever. But as far as like going without food, without lights, without gas, for your car to get around, that they're not used to. They're not really used to that on a full scale. I mean, Jake is to a certain degree, but the majority of Americans are not used to that. So that's going to cause problems. Yep. That's going to cause, boundaries to be stepped over. Because right now you walk down the street and a person will have a home, and some people could even leave their homes unlocked, and nobody will fuck with you. But in that day, it's going to be desperation. They're going to be checking every possible avenue for something to eat.
Yep. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein.
Right, because why? This is the time of judgment. The Lord is going to start raising up. He's going to start, reviving his works. As the prophet said, oh Lord, it is time for thee to work. And we see the prophecies speaking loud and clear today. Now, to the so-called international banking families out there, they think they're controlling things behind the scene, which indirectly they are, but really it's the Most High that's the moving those parts of the chess pieces on the chessboard, to checkmate them. Think that they're doing good, and then finally checkmate them.
Yeah, well, what the scripture say in Job, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
That's right.
So like the apostle saying, indirectly Edom believes he's, orchestrating this order out of chaos and bringing in his NW to the O. But directly, the Most High is controlling all chess pieces.
That's it.
He's controlling both sides of the story. So ultimately we know through prophecy that this man is going to be taken down. But within that, before the kingdom of heaven is established, great chaos in the earth is going to come.
Oh yeah.
And outages is going to be part of it. The grid going down, the grid that people have been so accustomed to, using all their life is going to be, it's going to be a very, very uncomfortable situation for most.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're not used to living like that. Like you have people that live in the woods, so they know how to make a fire. They know. They usually might have some candles, that they use for lighting, wherever they're at, for the time being. But these people here, they don't, especially this generation, they don't know shit. They're gonna be through when that time comes.
Well, Gen Z, Gen Z that's been so accustomed to, these different social media platforms and
video games
and orange juice, on a tap,
hot
at the grocery store or the liquor store, the convenience store, right? You got individuals that go on trips every year. They go out of the country. Individuals that have boats. Even Jake, that go hunting, go fishing. They enjoy themselves, not knowing that everything is built upon a very fragile infrastructure.
Yep.
When Isaiah 14, the worm is spread under thee.
Yeah.
So this is all part of the corrosion of Babylon the Great. All right, the power grid.
Right.
Cyber attacks. All right, the infrastructure all messed up.
Yeah.
All right, the roads, the bridges. Right.
Yeah, the disintegration of the system that they've created, and that's another sign that this place is out of here, almost out of here. Is the disintegration of their system. You can't. You'll never see a time when you won't see any type of construction in the streets. All these major cities, and everywhere you go, there's always some kind of construction going on, fixing a road or fixing a building, fixing this or that or the other. Why? Because the system, those are decaying signs that the system is finished.
This is 2 Ezra 15. And I'll start at 10. It says, behold, my people is led as flock to slaughter.
Yeah, and that's, by you poverty pimps out there in these churches, by you individuals, you leaders in Israel that know what you're doing is wrong. You sold out, selling the people a pipe dream, telling them that the MOTB is not the micro C hip. Go ahead.
Yep, it says, I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
Right, and America is the modern day Egypt, because he's going to deliver and elect all the nation of Israel from the soils of America. Go ahead.
But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm.
Right, when Yahweh Shai comes, he's coming in that chariot to gather his elect and to destroy the rest.
And smite Egypt with plagues as before.
Right, and this is what you see right now. Egypt is being smitten by plagues, There's a lot of things that are happening that are not, spoken of in the news.
Yeah, reported. Like the apostle said, there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that are not being reported, or even like the actual crime rate.
Right.
The actual GDP, the actual poverty rate. These things are not being reported.
Right. Yeah, because these devils want to make it seem like everything is good, until they lower the boom on the people. They want to have the nice and comfortable like that toad in that slow boiling water. If you turn the water on, if you boil it and throw the toad in there, it's going to jump right out. But if you slowly but surely, do a slow boil, eventually that toad will be cooked and won't move.
Mm-hmm. It says, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof.
Right, and back then the land of Egypt was not destroyed. This land of Egypt is going to be totally annihilated. It says the same thing for Babylon the Great, Babylon, and certain other names, prophetic names that the Lord has for America. So this place is going to be totally wiped out. There's not going to be a piece of anything left on these soils of America. Isaiah 34 speaks about, the lines of confusion and the stones of emptiness. So there's not going to be anything left in this country, that's going to even resemble a country. It's going to resemble more of a wilderness, a barren wasteland than anything else.
Yeah, verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it.
Right, and that's the judgment of the Lord that he's bringing upon it. This is the time of the Lord's judgment. It's the time of the Lord's glorification. And America is going to serve Esau and the militaries of the world are going to serve as a point where the Most High is going to be glorified when he destroys them. You want to say something?
No. It says, they shall till the ground. They that till the ground shall mourn. Mm-hmm. For their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation.
Right, and that's the Lord, too. Jacking up their crops, causing this whole, society to crumble, to disintegrate, little at a time, because if you start off with something that's corrupt, what they say, one bad apple could spoil the whole bunch, so you would have to move that bad apple out, right? But America doesn't do that. America has, all these bad apples in the basket, and it's destroying all of the other apples that are in there. And that's what the Lord said. He left them a cluster that would not be corrupted by that. He had reserved 7,000 men that would not bow the knee to the image of Baal, that will not bow down to the system, because the system is corrupt. And if you are partakers with the system, then you're corrupt.
That's right.
And corruption leads to destruction.
Woo! That's a lesson right there.
Yeah.
Because Babylon is completely corrupt. And this is why the Most High is bringing all these judgments upon these people, is because of your evil, because of your wickedness, and also, too, because of what you've done to the children of Israel.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the Most High has a controversy against the inhabitants of Babylon, against you wicked elite.
Word.
And as you bring in your NW to the O, the Most High is going to show you that he's going to be jacking you up. Mm-hmm. But you're going to still go ahead with it, all in order to fulfill prophecy. But at the end, you're going to be completely destroyed. Okay.
That's it. Because that's the final outcome. You know, the final outcome of empires is destruction and translation of empires and riches and slaves to the next empire. Next empire up, which is the last empire, is the empire of Yahushai / Israelites.
Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh.
Right, so the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. So we seeing it. You know, we seeing it play out. That's why scriptures say, measure the times. And when you see part of these signs come to pass, then you know that it's the time when the Lord is going to visit the earth. And this is how we know that Yahushua is right there at the door. Because a major prophecy that's going to cause everything to come to fall into place is playing out perfectly out, you know, on the world scene right now. The MOTB, the micro C-hip, that whole technology is being, you know, pushed throughout the whole planet, you know, and you still have the deniers. But the IUIC, yes, we name names here, they're spinning the narrative now. For years they've been against, you know, the micro C-hip, and, you know, you can't buy or sell. It's not dealing with, you know, with people. It's dealing with nations. I mean, they just keep changing every so often, every 6 months, every year, or 2 years, or whatever the case may be. They keep changing the breakdown or keep adding to it. They keep adding. You know, you can have a home, a beautiful home that's arrayed with all, you know, it's just bad, but the foundation is through, and you just keep adding to it without fixing the foundation. Eventually that house is going to fall apart. And that's what you see with the IUIC. But that breakdown of the MOTB is a botched breakdown, but they keep slapping stuff on it, trying to keep it together. That untempered mortar, you know?
Yeah, because meanwhile, while this society is crashing and Esau Edom is using all type of tactics to destroy this system, simultaneously, he's rolling out the MOTB system right there in front of the whole world.
Bam.
As he crashes all the world economies, as he brings in a digital currency, as he pushes his technology, ultimately merging man with machine. Elon Musk did. They did another individual with the brain chip, and they're pushing that. You know. So as this place gets destroyed, what's going to come when the lights turn off, and then when they turn, because best believe they're going to turn back on. When they turn back on, what system is going to be in place?
Let's go.
All right. They're doing a hard reset.
Oh yeah.
All right. There's a hard reset that's going on, and when they bring the new system back on, the MOTB system is going to be in place.
That's it.
Okay.
And that's why all of the nations of the world are going digital. They all claim to be against Babylon the Great, but everybody's going digital. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Verse 15, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
What do you think is going to cause it? Desperation. You know, the desperate mind state does not think logically. The desperate mind state only thinks about, you know, saving themselves. What they call it, survival of the fittest. Or they just look for survival. Any animal, when they're threatened, their life is threatened, no matter what it is, an insect, you know, a mammal, whatever, they go into survival mode. And that's pretty much what you're going to see out here. People are going to go to survival mode. So they're going to go animal instinct.
Yeah, beast. That beast-like nature is going to come out of the people. And they show you this in these movies. You know, like The Purge and all these so-called post-apocalyptic movies where, you know, you can't trust nobody. Yep. You know, and there's cannibals everywhere, and you know, you shoot first, ask questions later.
That's it.
You know, it's all out lawlessness, anarchy. You know, so they're already you know, prepping the people to become beasts and to fight against each other.
That's it.
And they set the society up just for that same reason. Nobody has, you know, land to where they can, you know, have crops and you know, flocks, and it can be self-sufficient. You know, everybody's sick, everybody's, you know, messed up, everybody's in high anxiety states. Medication. Everybody's on high level medication, all fucked up. Everybody's dependent on the system. So it's going to be a perfect it's going to be a perfect reset. All right, when Esau shuts this shit down, what is really the Lord closing up shop.
That's it.
And as they bring in a new system, there's going to be a lot of pain, which is going to cause these people to completely submit.
Oh yeah.
All right, they're going to completely submit to the NW to the O.
Yeah.
This next system, this digital control system, they're going to like, please give it to me. They're going to be begging, they're going to be crying for it because they want that pain to subside,
to go away.
You know.
Hey, I'm
saying when you're sick, the only thing in your mind is pain to go away. You don't care about nothing else.
Yep.
That's the main thing that your mind is geared towards is how can I get alleviation?
Yeah.
So that's what these people, they're going to be irrational. They're going to take the MOTB because they're going to say, I just want this pain to go away. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Just give it to me. This is the remedy. Okay, cool. Let's do it.
And the funny thing is, these people are ready. They're at that point to give up. They don't want to resist no more. But this is how these devils do. They keep wearing you down. You already worn down. They keep wearing you down, wearing you down, wearing you down, to where these people are ready to give up. But they say, no, let's hit them with some more. Let's hit them with some more. Let's hit them with some more stripes. Let's weaken them some more. Ha! You know, hit them with that liver shot. You know, hit them with that check hook, you know.
Yeah, kick you while you're down.
Yep. Put them in the go-go plata. Go ahead.
Yeah, he that ruled the people in anger is persecuted.
Yep.
That's Esau. He ruled the nations in anger.
Yep.
You know, he hit you with a continuous stroke.
Yes, that's it.
You know, he don't care. He gonna keep going. You know, he gonna keep going until there's nothing left.
That's it.
You know,
he gonna put you in that Americana.
This is 2 Ezra 15. And
they're gonna win by submission. Against most people. Okay.
Well, yeah, you have the characteristic of a snake, the constricting snake. He pretty much wins by submission. He squeezes the life out of you.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing to everybody. Hit you with the venom. Some people are dying from the venom. Some people are gonna die from the constriction.
Word. Now go to real quick. Go to Isaiah 27:1. You know, so Esau, because Esau is the serpent, right? That old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and they're putting the stranglehold on the world. They're really putting the squeeze on these people. You know, but it's not enough because these people are ready. Mm-hmm. They're ready to go. But Esau's like, nope, we're going to hit them some more stripes. That's why it says, when you shall cease to spoil, you shall be spoiled. And when thou shalt cease to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Yep.
Isaiah 27:1. In that day, the Lord with his sore and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan.
That's the missiles. Go ahead.
The piercing serpent.
All right. And that's Esau. That's talking about these Edomites, beginning with their top banking families, Rothschild, Rockefeller, so on and so forth.
Yep. It says, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent.
Right. Because they are a crooked serpent. That's why the scriptures speak about or label them the great red dragon. You know?
Yep. It says, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. In that day sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine. I the Lord do keep it. I will water it every moment, lest any hurt it. I will keep it night and day. Right,
that's dealing with Israel, the elect. So go back to where you were at, and we could just finish out there. Oh, shit, okay.
It says, 2 Ezra 15:15. For the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
There go your class wars, your race wars. Go ahead.
And swords in their hands.
Right. Civil war. Go ahead.
For there shall be sedition among men.
Why will there be sedition among men? Well, the reason why is because people are going to be in a desperate mind state.
Yep. It says, in invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Right, because they're seeing that the rule of law is bullshit. They've been complying for years. They've been, obedient to the government, following the laws, following the rules, following the regulations, stopping at red lights, stopping at stop signs, paying their traffic bills, paying their bills. And they seeing that, look, this is a fucking rat race. There's no escape. Like my man in Dark City. There's no escape. I looked everywhere. It
says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Right, because they're their rule, what they feel is right, is going to be what stands. That's what anarchy stands for. No rule. No or not. Archy is rule. So anarchy is no rule, no laws, no legislation, nothing but lawlessness in the streets. And this is what Esau wants. This is what they're pushing. This is why they prodding. They keep prodding. They keep sticking that finger in people's face and chest. Keep poking them, keep poking them, keep poking them, till one day the people just lose it. You know?
And what Gerald Salente
said? Yeah.
When the people have nothing else to lose, they lose it.
That's it.
You know, and that's essentially what's going to happen when all these, you know, amenities, all these comforts, I should say, all these comforts of Babylon the Great, are stripped.
Yep.
You know, are taken in an instant. And the only way to get those back is to bow down to the masters.
That's it.
With Esau, the small hat said he's the master of the universe. They're the masters of the universe.
Yeah.
And that's how they gonna, pretty much come to you. Hey, look, you want electricity?
Yeah.
You want food? You want to be able to travel? You want to get out of this 15-minute city?
Right.
Well, here, you got to do this.
Yeah, babe.
And the people are going to submit to it, but not the elect. Okay.
That's it. Hey, because there's going to be something special in the elect that's not going to allow them to do that. Even though in their mind they may want to, but their spirit is fighting, because the flesh wants comfort, but the spirit is like, fuck that, that's not the way to go,
This is a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
Yeah, man shall be afraid. Why? Because you're not going to be able to do nothing. It doesn't matter if you have guns and all, none of that. You have rations or whatever. Doesn't matter. Because, when all hell breaks loose and you have a mob of people, you only got so many bullets. And eventually they're going to overtake you. Yep.
Okay? And what about your current state? These people are ready to shoot and kill.
Nah.
And to survive and build fires. They're not ready for that. See, this is judgment of Heavenly Father. This is not something that you just see in a movie, and somehow you survive. The day of the Lord speaks about how you put your hand on the wall and a serpent bit you. So ultimately, the missiles gonna come for you people.
Yeah.
All right. Whether you survive the famine, whether you survive this and that, ultimately Babylon the Great is going to be in a terrible state.
That's it.
All right, because you're going to be going to wars. Are you ready for your children to get sent to these wars? These people are not mentally stable, and this is why they're going to lose it.
Right.
And they're not going to regard the government that's set up. It's going to just be total all-out chaos. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Right. That's desperation. Great tribulation. Things that people are not used to. The time of Jacob's trouble is not going to be pretty. But you had that bonehead talking about, I forget exactly how he said it. It's like, I mean, these Jakes today, boy, you become more soft than soy boys. It's like it seemed like soy boys are harder than you. The soy boys are built tougher than you clowns out here. And that's fucked up.
We already went through our trouble.
Yeah.
God is not going to take us through Jacob's trouble. It's like you Israelites want it to happen.
Yeah. Because the Lord said that there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation on the planet. And then I'm just merely paraphrasing. And at that time, that people shall be delivered, those that are written in the book. So yeah, if you are 2/3, of course you don't want it to come. Because you're not going to make it. But if you are a hopeful member of the elect, you're going to want to hurry up and come so the Lord can come and deliver us out this fucked up state.
Well, you have to go through the straight to get to the wide.
That's it.
The wide is the kingdom of heaven. So there's absolutely no other way.
That's it.
So you have to say fuck it.
That's it.
We got to go through it.
Yep.
You got to go through it to get to it.
That's
and
it.
you have these Jakes that are afraid to go to war,
Yep.
or that are afraid to go to battle. Okay, and they're gonna fail in that day.
Yep.
Guess what? It doesn't matter. This time you can't stay home in the battle because you're afraid.
So lucky, yeah.
The battle's gonna come to you. All right, and it's going to be a battle of if you're going to receive that MAR to the K.
Yep.
All right, that's that great tribulation, the time of testing. What is that? Revelation 3 and 10.
That's it.
But
and then pretty much there's between here and salvation, you got to jump in this shark infested and alligator infested water to swim to the other side, and that's the only way.
This is Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great. Now, when you look at that word alas, also in the blue letter, it says woe.
Yep.
All right, there's going to be a lot of destruction when this day, comes.
Yep.
We can go this way, or we can go that way.
Okay.
Yeah. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
That's it.
All right. So the trouble is coming regardless. Yet Jacob, of the elect, the Most High is going to deliver. All right, Jacob out of all these troubles that are coming, and we see the writing on the wall. All right, in these, so-called power outages. It's going to remember there was a darkness in Egypt.
Yep.
We read how the Lord is going to smite Egypt again with plagues. So many more plagues are coming to the streets of America, man, and it's going to frighten a lot of people, even a lot of Israelites.
Yep.
And some of us may be shooken up, but the faith is going to hold us.
Yeah, overtake that.
That's it. That was pretty much it on that.
Yeah, so pretty much, you see what happening, and the more truth comes out, the more the truth is exposed on a broader scale, the more lies that come, the more persecution, the more false witnessing, the more, attacking of the truth, the more, these people, especially Jake, trying to cast doubt on the truth. It is all set up that way. It's got to be that way. The closer we get, the more the doors are going to close. The more the door closes, the less access people are going to have to the truth. So count yourself blessed to be here now at this point before all hell breaks loose. We're at the threshold. So with that, we pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time we say shalom.